Well, it looks like little old me has ruffled some feathers again. Well, that's what happens when you have the stones to think for yourself and formulate your own opinions. Really makes people mad that like to exist inside echo chambers. Really, really frustrates them. The Caps Lock Crusaders, boy, they were out in full force last night, weren't they? That was absolute insanity. So, just want to say real quick before we get too far into it, this video shouldn't contain any politics. That's for, look, I get it. I'm not a politics guy myself, so I don't want to make this channel about politics either, but we are actually I'm acting like that's a word now. Okay, we're actually going to talk about this made-up trucker boycott against New York City from a more rational point of view. And if you feel like listening, you're going to find out that you've been duped, you've been lied to, you've been tricked about a thing that is not happening whatsoever. Okay? Sorry, that's just the reality. And I'm getting swarmed by a bunch of knuckleheads that aren't truckers, that have never been truckers, that are flying by the seat of their pants. Just pure emotion. This is what I want to happen, so therefore it is what's happening. Well, sorry, cupcakes, that's not how the real world works. I don't know what it's going to take for you to figure it out. Before I get too far into this, though, I actually want to say some thank yous. I do. Because it's very easy. Look, I know who I am on the internet. I know that this guy Trucks gets under people's skin. I don't do it on purpose. I just dare to think about the information that is being presented to me and then apply it to the real world and say, is this really what's happening? And oftentimes I come to the conclusion that it's really not, okay? And it's really easy to listen to all the noise, all the negativity, all the whining and crying and bitching that goes on. And sometimes I'm not able to take the time out and be like, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that appreciate what I do, that enjoy the videos that I'm making, and even if they don't necessarily agree with my point, they are able to listen to that. And I want to say thank you to you guys, because I really didn't mean to get the attention of a bunch of shitheads, but in classic This Guy Trucks fashion, I sure the fuck didn't I? So I wanted to thank all of you that understand the point of view I'm coming from, and also have been watching me long enough that I'm to know that I get into my stories. I'm very passionate about them. Fucking idiots last night calling me a fucking drug addict. I'm a truck driver, stupid. I'm required to take fucking random drug tests. I've been a truck driver for over 10 years now. If I was a drug addict, I wouldn't be in trucking. Ask me how I know. I've been drug tested many, many times. And I know an actual drug addict that's not allowed to drive trucks but yells at everybody that they're not real truckers. It's fucking bizarre. It's the strangest thing ever. So, anyways, I was wasting time there a little bit on purpose because there were a lot of people yelling, get to the point. No, douchebag, if you want to hear the point, sit there and watch the video. That's the way YouTube works, okay? If that doesn't work for you, TikTok's the fuck over there, all right? That's for you short attention span fucks. All right? Enjoy your time over there on TikTok. Oh my God. We'll bitch about TikTok here in just a little bit. But sincerely, thank you to you guys. All the people that had positive things to say, because the noise gets fucking loud around me sometimes because of these giant balls. Right? Because I'm not afraid of my opinions. I'm not afraid to say what I actually think is going on. And these huge, huge testicles get me in a lot of trouble sometimes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So, the trucker boycott of New York City is completely fabricated. It's a lie. It's all made up. Well, why would I say that? Well, let's talk about it, okay? Now, the person that originally came up with this idea has, I actually don't want to be a dick to this guy because I think he accidentally went viral. And as somebody that's also accidentally went viral before, not even remotely on the scale that he was, because that shit obviously has blown the fuck up, he didn't mean to. And going viral on the internet actually can be a very terrifying thing. Everybody thinks they want to do it until it's happening and you're like, oh my fucking God, what the hell is happening? Unless you're a bullshitter, right? Let's talk about that for just a minute. there are a lot of people growing channels right now, things like that, off of this false premise that there's a New York City trucker boycott happening, and I don't want to be those people. I don't want to be those people, because in a month's time, you're going to have to face your audience and say, yeah, I'm full of shit. What do you think of that? Because that's exactly what the fuck's going to happen. This is not real. It's not really happening. And there's actual information to back that the fuck up. Where was I? Forgot what I was saying, like I do sometimes. Oh, the guy accidentally went viral. He was probably mad, and he has every right in the world to be mad. He can feel how he wants to feel, which was a huge point of my last video. Whole lot of crybabies in the last video comment section. I guess me telling them they could feel how they wanted meant that they should cry all over my comment section. That was a ton of fun. And he came out and he took down, I think, the original video, and he said, I don't really want to be involved in this. This isn't what I was actually trying to do. And that should be your first... No. That should be your first indicator that this isn't actually happening. But we've got a bunch of dipshits running around out there going, fuck yeah, it's real. Hell yeah, it's absolutely real. And that is what the fuck's going on. Well, it's not. Okay? Now, telling me that it's happening doesn't make it fact. Bizarre, right? Isn't that fucking strange? And the most compelling arguments I got for this is actually happening is, Josh, the truckers over on TikTok are saying that it's happening. TikTok truckers are the biggest fucking group of dorks on the entire fucking internet. These fucking nutless wonders over there that line up every morning to hear what their talking points are, because nobody wants to dare step out of line over on TikTok, because then everybody will be real mean to them on TikTok. TikTok is for fucking goofballs, man. It's people that don't even have enough work ethic to make a longer than 30-second video, don't want to put in work for content creation, want to change the world. Jesus fucking Christ, spare me the fucking bullshit. I mean, you want to talk about a group of men with not a set of nuts amongst them, head the fuck over to TikTok. That's for dipshits. That's for fucking people. And ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Yeah, I got beef with the TikTok truckers. Of course I do. I go over there one time and offer a different opinion that says, hey, maybe truckers shouldn't block the entire fucking road for no goddamn reason at all. Within 24 hours, I'm doxxed, I'm threatened, and just like these guys were just swarming because now, oh, yes, we should block the fucking road. Of course we should. Fucking goofballs, man. Absolutely a bunch of fucking goofballs. If you're looking them for news and you think that they're telling you the truth about what's really going on in the world, that's your own fucking fault. You're dumb, and you shouldn't be over there doing that. You're dumb. That's the facts, okay? So we already got through the first indicator that this is completely fucking made up, okay? The guy was just mad. He was just angry on the internet. We're all allowed to do that, okay? I sincerely want to say, like, I understand to a point what that guy's actually going through. Now, he did, I ain't scared of fucking nothing and all that shit, and that's fine. I'm not saying he's scared, but I bet that anxiety is through the fucking roof. If it's not now, it definitely was, okay? I guarantee you, he didn't expect that this would blow up the way that it fucking did, okay? It's just, there's no way. Second indicator is the TikTok truckers are saying it. Yeah, that makes it real. Absolutely, absolutely. But over the last 2 days, I have been told by a bunch of people that are not even truckers, and that's okay. You don't have to be a trucker to be involved in the discussion, okay? But you should probably know something about what you're talking about. So I've been told by thousands of people, probably not thousands, hundreds of people that are not even truckers over the last 2 days, that this is absolutely real. It's absolutely happening. The shelves in New York City are empty. Empty, everybody. And they're not. And they're basing this all off of nothing. You heard me. They're basing this off of nothing. No actual information to show that that is true. But there are companies out there. Oh, let me back up. I was losing my train of thought. So, I don't like to wave my dick around on the internet. I just am who I am, right? I am a truck driver. I've been a truck driver for 10 years. I've been an owner-operator, and I plan to get back to owner-operator at some point in the future. Why is that important? Here's why it's important. I pay attention to the freight market. Yeah, it's part of my livelihood to understand what's going on out there. And even though I'm not in the owner-operator part of trucking right now, I need to understand the freight market to know, is this the time to make the move? When is the time to make that move, right? So, understanding the freight market and what's going on with it is very important to me. I've spent years and years following it now. I have dispatched my own truck, which means I have spent a lot of time understanding freight lanes, where to go, where not to go, what makes sense as a business owner in trucking. That's my resume, okay? I understand it's not very impressive. It's just trucking, all right? But it does explain that I have some understanding of how the freight market works, okay? So, the freight market is monitored very, very heavily. There are people with a lot of fucking money that have an invested interest in understanding how the freight market works and how we can anticipate where the freight market is going. Why do they do that? Because they own trucking companies, or they own brokerages, or they own, the shippers, the receivers, what have you. The people at the top of these companies need to understand the freight market. And I don't know what year everybody thinks we're living in. It's 2024, by the way, just in case you're fucking confused, and everything has technology attached to it. I don't fucking get it. Do you think we're just a bunch of fucking hill people out here driving trucks? That's not the fucking case anymore. This is a very, very, very heavily monitored industry. We know where everything is. We know what the price to move that thing is. Why do I fucking say all this? You can look up the information yourself. That's why I say all this. There is a company called FreightWaves. I'm just putting one out there so you have one to look at. A company called FreightWaves. Basically, their entire business, they do some news stories and things like that, but basically their entire business is understanding and monitoring the freight market, okay? They've got graphs, they've got charts, they've got everything. And it would not do them any good at all to make up numbers, to go in there and participate in propaganda to, make the market look different than it is. It would be a fatal fucking move on their part, and there's no reason they would do that. They are a very, very reputable source, and they have all the graphs and charts and information you want to look at that points to the absolute fact that there's no boycott going on. There's no boycott happening. And if there is a boycott happening in the minds of millions of people across America, it's having zero effect on what's going on in New York City. Didn't y'all spend the last video telling me to get my facts straight? Look, I just told you where to find it. And if you understand what you're looking at, you can see that information yourself. If you do not understand what you're looking at, you can look up YouTube videos. You can start educating yourself on the freight market. There is absolutely no indication whatsoever that a New York City boycott is happening. Okay, here's what I'm going to do, though. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to issue a bit of a challenge. All right? I'm going to issue a bit of a challenge. Let's all give it a month. I'll try to set a reminder on my phone, or I'll just remember and kind of keep track of when this video right now is a month old. All right? I think a month is a very good amount of time to see what the effect of the boycott was on New York City, and more importantly, believe it or not, freight rates, because that's going to be our indicator of what happened. Don't like it? Tough fucking luck. That's the way data works. Don't know what to fucking tell you. In that month, if I'm wrong, I will make a video. I will title it something like, I was wrong about the New York City trucker boycott. And I want every one of you to come back and watch that video, and I want you to share it all over your social media, not for my views, but to fucking embarrass me, because I deserve it at that point, okay? That's what's going to happen. I promise you, this is my promise, because I don't bullshit here on YouTube. I don't pander to an audience. I don't fucking make videos that people want to hear. I make videos about what's going on out here is my life as a trucker. I do not put any second thought into if this is going to be a video that people want to hear or not. I say this is what the fuck is happening. All right, and that's for all the people that told me I'm going to lose subscribers or this is going to cost me future subscribers or anything like that. That's the way it goes. Look, I'm not on here to lose subscribers. I'm on here to grow a channel. But I will never, ever be the guy that fucking just gives you all the things you want to hear for the sake of growing a channel. There's plenty of bullshitters out there on this platform. Plenty of them. I'm not that guy. All right? So I want you to come back in a month and fucking embarrass me when I make that video. If you're right, then I have to make that video. Okay? That's the challenge. That's the challenge I'm issuing today. In return, if I'm right, I am going to do such an incredible fucking victory lap because you guys want to live in a fucking fantasy land that everybody's just shutting down everything and boycotting everything because they're not getting their way. And the reality is that's not fucking true. It's not true in the fucking least. It's not going to happen, okay? So I will be back for my victory lap in a month in the event that I'm right. What I would like, now, this is kind of maybe challenging other content creators up over here on YouTube. I don't really concern myself a lot with the videos other people make. But as a friendly part of the challenge, everybody that's pushing this narrative that this boycott's really happening and it's really creating, you know, an effect and it's really getting things fixed the way we want them, I would like for you to come back in a month to your channel and maybe apologize to your audience and let them know that you misled them, and you don't have to. I really don't care about this part as much as you might want to believe, but you know, if you're going to grow a channel in a dishonest way, that's weird. That's weird, but that's what you want to do. That part of the challenge doesn't even have to exist. That's a little side note, but I promise I will be back in a month. There'll be videos between that. Don't worry. I'll be back in a month and I will eat my fucking words. But I can guarantee you that I'm not wrong about this. Absolutely, guarantee you. And what is it that we're looking for? What do we want done? What is the effect of the boycott? Now, I said this isn't political, so I'm not going to go off on my personal opinions about this. But do we get... I don't think it's charges against Trump, right? It's just some sort of lawsuit or fine or something like that. Do we get the courts to reverse that? Is that how the truckers won? Is that how the truckers changed it? Or is there something else? I mean this. You guys can set the rules in the comments. Now, you got to be reasonable. We have to have some sort of measurable thing that the truckers changed by doing this boycott. All right? And if I deem that to be reasonable, because it just has to be, then I will apologize. I will. And I will say I was so wrong about this, and I'm the biggest idiot that exists on YouTube. I bet when I make that video, because I know how it's going to go. Guys, I'm 10 years in the trucking industry. I pay attention to the freight market. I've been an owner-operator. I've dispatched my own truck. I'm going to be right. I'm absolutely going to be right. I can guarantee you that the comment section of that video is going to be real fucking quiet. Real fucking quiet. All right? And I'm going to give you my last reasons why this isn't going to work. You're not going to like this, okay? You're not going to like this at all. But if you goofy bastards want to do goofy things, you live with the goofy fucking results. That's the way this happens, okay? There are two things in the world that the real truckers hate, okay? The first thing is the mega carrier. If you're not familiar with the term, I'm happy to help. A mega carrier is a large trucking company. Now, I don't think we have a clear definition of how many trucks qualifies for a mega carrier. Some people say 1,000, some people say 10,000, some people say 100. We don't have a clear-cut definition, I don't think, of what a mega carrier is, but it is a big trucking company. And for the most part, people don't like them because they lower rates by bringing in truckers in mass, and they are able to take lower rates per load because they've got so many trucks that really, at the end of the day, they're profiting more, because when you got 40,000 trucks on the road working for 10 cents less than that company over there, you're still coming out ahead, right? They'll carry the loads to New York City. You bet your sweet tits they will. They absolutely will. They have company drivers. They're going to say, hey, we got a load to New York City for you. And that driver, he is allowed to protest that, right? If he's company, he's got two choices. One choice is going to be to take that fucking load to New York City. The other choice is going to be to quit his job. And then the company's going to say, okay, fine, bring that truck back. We got a guy coming out of orientation right now. We'll throw him in your truck and we'll get him that load to New York City. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know why? Because we're in a shit freight market right now. You guys think you're taking a stand right now? Goofy. Absolutely goofy. You're not going to. So that company driver can either take the load or quit his job, in which they're going to put another trucker in there. And while they're working on getting that other trucker in there, they're just going to dispatch it to someone else. The mega carriers can easily move in on that market, and they already have. It's not like they don't exist in New York City. They're going to force dispatch people to go in there. All right? And obviously, that it's easy to do. This can be fixed in a couple days. If truckers boycott New York City, if this was actually real, it can be fixed in a couple days, because all of a sudden the shippers, the receivers, the brokers, somebody's going to have to kick in a little bit more money. Remember what I just said? We're in a shit market. You raise those rates just a little bit to go into New York City. That load's moving. It absolutely is. Okay? So, mega carriers. Now the other thing that truckers really hate. Not me. Not me. This is just a common complaint amongst truckers. And it is those goddamn foreigners coming into America and getting truck driving jobs. And then they don't even know how to speak the language and all that shit. Guess who's going to take that load to New York City? The foreigners. Yeah. Isn't it weird? Isn't that a weird thing to think about? All this time talking about, they took our jobs. They took our jobs. And then you just kick the door wide open for them to come take your job because your silly ass is refusing to go to work. Did they really take your job, or were you being fucking lazy? Were you just not doing your job? We'll have to ponder that one, I guess. We'll have to think about that for a while. But you think for a minute those Russian companies out of Chicago aren't going to take those loads to New York City? You're damn right they are. And you think Dimitri's scared to go into New York City? He's not. Not even a little bit. They're just going to run it. They're just going to run it. So, instead of getting anything done, we get nothing done. We actually get less than nothing done. We allow the mega carriers to continue to undercut prices because they moved in and started taking all those loads. And we allow the foreign companies, I don't hate, but a lot of people do, to flourish because we decided we weren't going to New York City. We have weakened our position by throwing tantrums. Isn't that fucking amazing? I know a lot of people already aren't listening to the end of this because you know what people like to hear? Just what they like to hear. That's it. Nobody wants to hear about the real world, right? Nobody wants to hear about what's actually happening out there. Guys, we're adults here. All this fantasy stuff that you're making up and then passing it off as fact, it's not real. Now, I haven't been a trucker for the longest time in the world, but I've been out here long enough to know that this is all bullshit. All right? I have seen countless attempts by truckers to get something changed and refusing to work. I mentioned some in some of the last videos. Now, somebody tried to tell me, well, Canada did this great thing and they got a lot of things changed. I don't know dick about Canada. Never been there. Don't drive there. You know what I'm talking about? How can I make this any more clear? American truck drivers, like what I'm about to say or not, have never succeeded in coming together as a group and getting the change that they wanted. Not once. It's never happened. You know why? Because they go in with this goal of what they're going to do, and then they start bickering about all these other things that don't fucking matter, and it starts to look like a bill in Congress. It's got, this is the fucking thing that we want to do, and then it's got page and page and page of nonsense that we don't really fucking give a shit about, and nothing gets fucking done. Ever. It never gets organized, but really, you know what's weird about this? Truckers notoriously hate unions. Notoriously hate unions. But every time something isn't going right, they say, guys, we must organize. And they look to a person or a group of people to be the leaders of that organization so that they can get the change they want. in the business, the industry that they work in. You know what that is? A fucking union. Yeah. Oh, we hate unions unless things are going really bad. Then we want to form our own. And it's silly as hell. So, I think that's all I got to say. I wanted to do a much more calm video, a little more, you know, a little more like this, if that makes sense, instead of me just flying off the handle like I sometimes do. So, to anybody in the comments that says you need to get your facts straight, I presented my facts. I gave you resources that you can use to view those facts with your own eyes, okay? And 1 month is plenty of time to figure out if this all worked. In 1 month's time, I will come back, swallow my pride, and say I was wrong about everything I said about this boycott. Don't let me take that victory lap, right? You don't have a choice in the matter, because I'm going to. But it's just the way she goes, folks. Anyways, I have been on the road, for anybody still listening, for nearly 7 months right now. Nearly 7 months. In that 7 months, I have taken a total of 4 days off. I am currently, right now, on an overnight mad fucking dash to finally go home. And I'm going to enjoy 3 to 4 days in my house, out of this fucking truck. And I'm going to drink so much goddamn beer. And I'm going to spend time with the kids and spend time with the wife. The reason I'm laughing is because I know how people act on the internet. And because I said beer first, somebody's going to be like, that was his priority. In no specific order, I'm going to drink so much fucking beer and hang out with my kids and hang out with my wife. Because this motherfucker right here, this is a real fucking trucker. 7 months on the road. 10 years in trucking. Been an owner-operator. Still follow the freight market to this day. Some of y'all are barking up the wrong tree. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I've been here long enough to know how this all works. Bye now.